Y'all, I'm so happy that in the last episode, you all really enjoyed the breathing exercises that we did collectively at the beginning of that episode. It brought me joy to know that it was so helpful to so many of you. So let's talk a little bit more about it on the other side. And yeah, with that, let's get into it. Take 102. What's good, peacemakers? Welcome back to another episode of the Piece for Peace Crafting Podcast. I'm Michael, and this is my crafty corner of the YouTube universe. If you would like to find me on other social media, you can do so by following me over on Instagram as Piece4PeaceCrafting, over on Ravelry as Piece4PeaceCraft, and on Blue Sky, I think I'm Piece4PeaceCrafting as well. If you like music, oh my gosh, I didn't grab, it's fine. If you like music and you like to follow along to the playlist that goes with this silly little podcast over on Spotify, you can do so by following the Piece for Peace Crafting Podcast playlist over on Spotify. If you have trouble finding that, please feel free to send me a message over on Instagram, and I can send it to you via DM over there. For those of you who are coming back, welcome back, friends. And for those of you who are clicking on this video for the first time and you are checking things out, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time while you're here. Yeah, if you enjoy it, feel free to do all that fun YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe. It's your life. Do what you want. How is everyone doing? It's been 2 weeks, which is a little bit insane that it's been 2 weeks. Yeah, a lot's been happening. I've lost 2 hand knit hats since the last time I saw you, which is kind of a bummer. And have just been trying to, keep it together like everybody else. If I'm being completely honest and fully transparent, I'm actually in the midst of warding off some sort of anxiety attack that feels like it wants to creep up into my life right now. And so, yeah, I was hoping to film this a little bit earlier in the day, but I've been dealing with that. And so I thought once I got into a good place, I would just sit down and record, and hopefully that would bring me some joy and, take my mind off of things for a little bit. And now my voice wants to go. Excuse me. We're here. We're making things happen. I'm excited to be with all of you. A couple of sort of like housekeeping things to my friends who in the last episode, I was supposed to be mailing you all off a pass-along prize. Life has really been very busy, and so I apologize for not getting that in the mail sooner, but I will have some time hopefully on Tuesday in the morning to drop some things off at the post office, so you all should have those fairly soon. For anyone here in the US, there's a big game today. Go sports. I hope whoever you're rooting for wins. I'm just there for the halftime show, if I'm being honest. Other than that, 2 weeks. What else has been going on? Nothing. It like pretends to be spring and then it's not. That's what's happening right now. All right. Enough of that. Let's get into the actualness of the episode. So in the last time that we were together, I was saying that I really have just been like doing and making things as like my body would allow me to. And I sort of have been just like sticking and staying true to that. Like when I have the capacity to do something, I'm gonna do it, and if I don't, I don't, and like it's fine. And so with that, I have 4 FOs to share with you, which is crazy. A couple you've seen, and I'm only working on 1 whip right now, which is fine. And I've decided that I'm gonna just like, I have some whips that are lying around that while I'm making these other things and I'm sort of like feeling like I'm making progress, I'm gonna have these other things that are gonna be a little bit slower, a little bit not as take with me while I'm commuting, just like at home projects that I really want to, just because this is what happened within the last 2 weeks, that I really want to spend some time really working on, mostly because I'm just trying to like free up things that are around me. And so I'd like to get them completed sometime soon. And yeah, that's how we're gonna roll. Before we get started, I'm wearing, this is an old Siege hat, Brooklyn tweed something, I don't remember the yarn, but it's worsted weight, and this is the Starflake shawl by Stephen West, knit up in Blue Fiber Company, I think is the name of it. Here, I can show it to you 1 second. I've been wearing this lately. I just needed some color in my life. It's so bright. It's so obnoxious. Actually, I'm going to take it off because of one of the things I'm going to show you. Also, you all, I have my mic clipped near my tummy. So if you hear my tummy growl during this episode, I apologize. Yeah, so that's my Starflake. I've been loving wearing that recently. I was just telling some friends actually on a Zoom call that I don't wear it as much because it is a merino cashmere nylon blend, and it's so like, it feels amazing. It's so soft, it's so squishy and warm, but as a person who has facial hair, it likes to leave itself in my facial hair. So like, I'm not dyeing my beard, but it looks like I've dyed it once I take it off. So I have to really be conscious of like making sure I'm taking a lint roller to it after I wear it. Okay, so the last time we were together, we were all trying to take a breath and really center ourselves. And after that episode, I was really feeling like I just like needed to stab some things. And so I pulled back out something that I was working on, which was one of these coloring with wool needle felting kits from from Felted Sky. And so this was a Monstera kit that I got, I don't remember, Rhinebeck maybe? I don't know. Maybe it was a different festival. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it is a kit and it comes with everything you need. A hoop, needles. There's so much fiber left that literally I could make a few more things if I wanted to, which is really cool. And actually, I think that's probably gonna happen. Using some of these leftovers. So I was in the mood to just like stab some things, and I finished my little Monstera felted project. So yeah, this is so cool and so fun. The back is slightly janky, but it's okay. I just cut it out and then, because it's 2 layers of fabric, I Gorilla Glued one, and then I just went in to the places that maybe it didn't seep through to get both layers of the fabric, and I just used regular glue to just like glue the rest of it down. Anyway, this was a blast, and once I really got into it, I was having so much fun. One of the things that's just a pinch sad is this, I mean, you can't tell, but I'm gonna let you know, is this leaf should be slightly lighter. Like you can see it in the photo there, but the color of wool that they had in the kit wasn't the right color, and I didn't notice until I was like halfway through. I'm like, this really looks like the first flower that I was, or the first leaf that I was doing, but whatever, I don't even care. It's so cute. I feel like, you know, the leaves are darker, and then our new leaves, if you have a Monstera, the new leaves are a little bit lighter. And so, yeah, this makes me really happy. This was such a great thing to just have like sitting on my kitchen table, and I would just like sit there and put on some very relaxing music and just step away, or I would bring it into the living room and watch something very chill. Yeah, and just slowly made progress on it. And now that it's done, I want to do another one of these kits. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think this might be my first. Is that true? It might be my first felting project. It's gonna go hang in my bathroom though. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, so that's thing 1, a little felting. Number, great kit. Completely recommend, other than the fact that one of the little things of wool wasn't the right color, but you know, we make it work. We let it do it, make it do what it do. All right, the next thing I have to show you is a little crochet project. Actually, I'm just gonna keep reaching past you all this whole episode. Is a little crochet project. So as you all know, I was making a baby blanket for my former roommates, and I'm also working on another baby blanket for my friend's sister. And I just took a bunch of worsted weight scraps that I had around, some DK too, worsted DK scraps that I had lying around. So it's giving Red Heart, it's giving, I think there's some Karen Simply Soft in there. There's definitely some Vanished Choice in there. And I was making the circle baby blanket. Everything's going to be linked below. I don't have the pattern with me. But as my main color, I was using this big twist. It's a pound plus, and this is in the color medium gray. And this is, it's 100% acrylic. I want them to be able to throw this in the washing machine. Yeah, so this says that this is a 4, so it's all working out together. So everything is, this is the main color for both of them. Some of the circles in each are a little bit different. I need to start the next, what is that called? The next step in the assembly line. Oh my gosh. The next step in the assembly line for the second blanket. So what I did was I made all the circles, and then for this one that I'm about to show you, I went through and I did all of the border, and then I sewed it together. So this is how it turned out. Eek! It's so cute. So this is baby blanket number 1. This is all crocheted. I used a, I don't know, eye hook. I don't remember. Whatever the pattern says to use. And yeah, like I said, all of the different colors are just random scraps I had lying around. Really cute, really fun. Love how this turned out. So yeah, now he has 3 blankets that I can send off to him, a small, a medium, and a large blankets, and all of them can continue to grow with him. One of the things that's a little bit different in the pattern that I did was the pattern just says to connect all of the squares and weave in the ends, and then you're done. So you're left with just like the square edges. And I personally, you know, the other times that I've made this blanket, I remember as I'm going and I'm like, oh yeah, I don't really care for that. Actually, go backwards. Even doing the squares, it wanted me in the corners to like do a slip stitch to the corner and then start in the corner. I didn't like that vibe either. It's too tight when you're trying to come back around. So I just would like chain up and go around, and you literally can't even tell. It's the same pattern. Anyway, back to the border is once I finished it, I sewed the whole thing together, and then on the edge, all I did was use the same patterning that the squares were to make them square, from circle to square. So I went around with one row of doing like half, there's a little end, I gotta snip that. I went around doing one row of like the corner stitch, so my doubles and some chain stitches, and then I did just half doubles all the way around, and then the second round I went and I did double crochets all the way around. And then the edge of it, I remember learning it as a crab stitch, and so maybe it's not that, or maybe it's called something else. Anyway, but it's just when you crochet going, like you get to the end and then you immediately start going the opposite way, but like twisting the stitch around. So not going backwards in a sense where some people might say like, oh, you're knitting, or you're crocheting left-handed. No, that's not the vibe, or like, that's not what I'm doing. It doesn't matter which hand you're going with. It's just literally going backward on yourself and it twisted around. Anyway, I think it provides for a really nice edge, and it, oh my gosh, and it looks really clean versus just having like the edge of what the squares were gonna be. Anywho, love this. I'm so happy this is done, and now I can snip that one end that apparently I missed and send it off to my friends for their little one so that he can have that. All right, I have 2 more FOs for you. The first one you have seen. And so, yeah, I was working on my, Traveler Cowl. That was a buddy make with Kevin from Needles at the Ready and Carrie from The Creative Obsession. And we all had fiber that Kevin and I got, and then we sent some to Carrie at Rhinebeck. Kevin and I had the same color from Feederbrook Farms and spun them completely differently, which is also, if you've been watching for a while, you've heard me say how cool of a process this has been, watching him spin his up and then me spin mine up. And so though the bag that we got was 8 ounces of fiber, and this is some of what is left from the spin that I did. Yeah, blues, greens, oranges, some browns were in there. Yeah, and so what I did is I laid it out on my floor and then split it into 3 and then spun all 3 of those separately and then plied them together. And so I got about a fingering sport, more fingering, 3-ply yarn. And this pattern is written for a DK, I believe. And so I just went onto Ravelry and I looked through the Cowl pattern and found some other folks that had knitted up in a fingering weight. And so that's, yeah, I just use their number. So they knit theirs on a US before, and so I just did the same. And so here is how mine turned out. What? I love it, I love it, I love it. So it's a really chill fade. And I love the little blips of orange. And then on the back, someone asked if I could show how I seamed it together. And if I'm being honest, I just followed the video that Andrea had in the pattern to seam it up in the back. I think the lines match up for the most part. Yeah, very excited about this. So it's very light because it's fingering weight. Oh my gosh, what's happening? And yeah. I don't want to hit this. Okay, perfect. It's so good. I have just like let it fold however it wants. Like, so if it's not standing up like this, it's fine. It tends to just want to like fold in on itself, so I let it do what it do. I'm gonna clip this to that. Yeah, so I'm so excited with how this turned out. I think I was nervous that it was not gonna fit, but once I finished it, I blocked it to the measurements in the schematic, and yeah, just like let it dry. It was fingering weight, so it didn't take very long. And then I seamed it up the next day. I love how this looks. I'm excited to finally start wearing it. I think with it being fingering weight, it's perfect for kind of like, well, not today, kind of like days that we've been having where it is maybe in the high 30s or 40s, low 40s, 50s. And I want something around my neck to keep me warm while it's in my coat, but maybe I'm not feeling wearing a huge shawl, which I'm always gonna wanna lean more toward. Yeah, and this will be the perfect little piece for this. So I found my little notes that I'd made for myself, and when I spun up that 8 ounces of fiber, so a lot of things to talk about. I ended up having 2 full skeins and then like a smaller mini skein. And the full skeins ended up being, one was like 300 yards, the other one was 286 yards, and then my mini was about 160. So what is that? 586 plus 160 is, somebody can do the math. So there was a lot of stuff there. I didn't even go into the mini skein. Actually, and this took just one. I think this is a little over 300 yards for me to complete. And something else that's really cool is so when I spin, I take out my Swift and I have a piece of twine that I measured out to be 2 yards, and I put that on it, open up the Swift, and then I just spin the Swift and take the yarn off of the bobbin from the spinning wheel, and then I count what that is. So like for one of the skeins, when I did that, it was about 326 yards approximately, but then it ended up being about 300. So I lost about 7% in the washing of it. So it blooming, it like shrinking up some. And so I thought that was really interesting. And my second skein was like 322 when I wound it off, and it ended up being like 286. So I lost about 10%. So like, I think that's something, just like little numbers like that, especially now that I have that Dreaming Robots calculator, it's just good to know like how much I am losing. So then if I want to go and do a project, I know for real how much I actually have, and I'm not just going off of a number right off of the bobbins. Anywho, I found that quite fascinating. This cowl ended up being when I weighed it, 108 grams. So a little over a full skein of yarn, which was exciting. So once I finished that, so this is thing 3. Once I finished that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have gone into like the second skein, which is what I just showed you. I should just make the traveler hat. Because why not? And that one is written for fingering and for worsted. And so I got the pattern and I started it and finished it. So here's not it being floppy. Here's my, let me just do this, traveler hat. This is fingering weight. So this is the not leftovers, but more of this yarn that I'd spun up. And yeah, wait, let me show you this huge chunk of, that orange is so good. And yeah, I now only have one other thing that's in the Traveler series that I need to make, and that is the sweater. And so, matchy. So this, actually, okay, rewind. Both of these, I did the large version. So this cowl, I did the large, and then this hat, I did the biggest size, because I got a big head. And it ends up being like a proper hat, right? I think in the photos, Andrea wears it and other people wear it where it's like a little bit puffed up. Like, that's not my vibe. So even when I went to block it, I had that mannequin head. I just put it all the way down on the mannequin head because some people, anyway, because it makes it fit my head better. But what I figured is, since it's rolled twice, I could even just roll, oh my God, I love this. Roll the back up because like my ears get hot. And just wear it like this. So it's sort of, it's giving Robin Hood. Where are my merry men? Yeah, I think I'm gonna wear it like this, and then when it's cold out, like for instance, if I'm taking the dog for a walk, I can start off like this, and then if we've been outside for a long time, since we have sort of been doing longer walks now, there's no snow, it's just cold, I can just flip it down, and then my ears will be warm. I love that. So this is the Traveler hat. This ended up being about 71 grams when I weighed it. Yeah, so from that 8-ounce bag, I was able to spin a 3-ply and get a cowl and a hat out of it. And I still have the rest of my second skein, and I have about 160 yards from that mini skein. It was like the end of the 3 bobbins all together, which is great. So I'm really excited about that. I feel like it definitely, for how much were those bags? It was like $25. For $25, I was able to get enough. I had enough fiber to make probably 3 projects. Maybe I'll make myself a pair of socks with the rest of it. That could be cute. Yeah, I was able to get about 3 projects from it. So we love that. It's great. I am really excited to be using my own hand spun. That really has made me want to, 1, spin some of the fiber that I already have that's in my stash, and 2, make some more products too. Make some more projects that I have in my library or things that I have favorited that I think would be really good using hand spun in the future. So hopefully I'll tackle some more of that pretty soon. I haven't spun in a while, and it is like a little bit making me sad. But I've been doing all the other things. I've been crocheting, I've been needle felting, I've been knitting. Yeah, so it's like, right. I've been going to the movies. I've been just like doing so many things. Anywho, all right. So though that is all the FOs that I have. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Excuse me. Just love what I had to share this time around. I think it's really great. Just a little bit of everything. Oh my gosh, not me on the needle. All right, the last thing I have to show you is, one second. I am, once again, going to reach past you. Note to self, next time, make sure you actually bring everything with you. That won't happen though. So, like I said in the beginning, I really, I have these projects that have been lying around that I really want to get back to. And one of those was the Montpellier Slipover by November Knits. So this is sort of what that looks, not sort of, it literally is what that looks like. I need you to go over there and lie down, please. Thank you so much. I had started this slipover and just other things got started, and that's what happens. So it was just like sitting on my coffee table waiting for me to get back to it. And once I'd sort of finished everything that I just showed, I thought, you know what? Let me just pick up and like do the other little shoulder piece, because I'd already finished one side, and I'll just see what happens. And well, that led to me getting a lot more done. So I'm using for this is Malabrigo worsted. I'm not sure of the color because I don't have the ball band with me. I actually don't even know if they make this color anymore. And I'm holding that with this Surrey. That is, wait, I have a ball of that here, the band for that. So this is a discontinued Knit Picks Surrey Dream in the color Midnight, and it is 74% Surrey alpaca, 22% Peruvian Highland wool, and 4% nylon. And it was 140 yards for 50 grams. And so I'm holding these two together to work on this sweater. My gauge, for those who have been here, you all already know, is a little bit, this one stitch bigger. I think the gauge is supposed to be 16. I'm doing a 15, which is perfect because I want it to be a little bit bigger. And I'm knitting the I'm knitting the 4th size in the pattern, which is 129 centimeters or 50.79 inches. So mine's gonna be slightly bigger. This is supposed to be worn with a lot of positive ease, and it's cropped and I'm making it longer. So with all that being said, the last time you all saw it, I was where that little piece marker is. And since then, or maybe I showed one other thing. I don't know. Anyway, this is the back of it. And I've done both of the shoulders, and I've started working the front flat. And so I have probably, I think, I don't know, 5 or 6 more increases to do for the, it's so dark, for the arm shaping, right, on the front. And then I get to connect it and then start knitting in the round, which I'm very excited about. I have had all of the different emotions about this make. I thought that the color was gonna be not my jam in the beginning, but then I swatched with another color in the Surrey and I didn't like that. It was way too dark. You can tell here, but I was working on this earlier this morning, and the blue really does come through quite nicely when it's lighter out. And so it was making me really excited about working on this project. And I also love that the edges we've already done that like side detail for the armhole shaping or for the arms. Yeah, so I went from being like, oh, I don't know about this to, oh, okay, this is fine, to now this is going to be really cool. I think that with, holding that Malabrigo single with, even though it's worsted, with the Surrey is making for a really lovely, sorry, I just keep looking at this hat. Is making for a really lovely fabric. I think that it's going to be perfect for those in-between days where it'll be heavy enough to like feel like I'm wearing something and being warm, but also like my arms can be out and I can still feel cool. I don't think I'm a vest person, but like I might be a vest person. Who knows? This will be my first one, so I'm excited to get more of this done. Hopefully, I'm just excited to work on this more. I was gonna say hopefully by the next time you see it, it'll be finished, but honestly, who knows? So this is my Montpellier. I'm very excited about it. It's been wonderful to pick back up. And so that's really all I'm working on. And, there are a couple other things that are on or around my coffee table and which I would love to pick up as well. And so I think I'm just going to keep chugging along. I have a pair of crocheted booties that I need to make for a friend of mine who does not live here anymore. Maybe I talked about that last. I did, because I showed the yarn that I picked up. And so since that's going to be crochet works up pretty quickly. Since that's going to be something quick, I'm hoping to, have that and the vest and maybe one other thing that I was working on, and just, get back into working on some of these things that I have lying around, which, yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know. I don't know. I feel energized about getting some of these things done, which is really great because we all know those whips can just sit, and if they're tucked away somewhere, we forget about them. So with that being said, I think that's it for this episode. I clearly forgot to bring music over, but that's okay. We can do that next time. For those of you who are in the States, hopefully this is up by the time the game is over. And if you need something to watch, this can be of comfort to you if you are not watching the game, but it goes up. Have fun with that. If you're not in the States and you don't even care about North American football, I love that for you. Because what? Other than that, you all, I really am hoping to get some more things done. I'm hoping to start a spinning project that like literally I've prepped the fiber and everything. I think I just need to show my wheel a little love, give it a little oil and a little wipe down, and spend some time working on that, because I do have a spin that I prepped for and I just haven't got around to, and I've really been missing it. So hopefully I'll get to do that in the next 2 weeks as well. Other than that, I hope everyone is staying as healthy as you can, both mentally and physically. Oh, I know. And so in the last episode, sorry, this is at the end. If you've made it this far, real MVPs. In the last episode, people really resonated with the little breathing thing that I did at the beginning of the episode. And so I'm posing the question here for people who stick around to the end. And I will remember, fingers crossed, to post something where it will be kind of similar, but same, but different. If maybe like at the end of an episode one time, I just like have, maybe it's 5 minutes, sometimes that's all you need is just to like sit and just like chill for a minute. 5 minutes of just like me not talking, but just like spinning, right? We just hear the clanking of the machine or of the wheel, and just like that as like our calm down sort of breathing type vibe. I remember is it Amy? No, what? I can't think of her name. Fat Squirrel Speaks. Is it Amy? I can't remember her name now. That's so terrible. Anyway, I remember at one point she put out a video that was just like a shot of her spinning for a while. I'll link that below. And I remember a few times I just sat and put that on, and it was very calming for me. It's like, oh, this is exactly what I needed. So let me know if maybe some of these, sometime you all might want something like that. I can also do another guided thing at the end. So then, like, if you're done watching, you could just be like, peace out. But if you want that, then it'd be like a little in credit scene, if you will, for my marble friends. So let me know in the comments below if that's something that you would be into. Otherwise, you all stay healthy, both mentally and physically. Check in on each other. Honestly, not turn your phone off, but set your phone down and stop doom scrolling. Try to do it for at least an hour in the evening and like do something else. It's honestly really been helping me a lot. And like when I get my things on Sundays now, last week it was like your screen time is down 87% from the previous week. So yeah, do something good for yourself. Make all the things. And until I see you next time, make a piece, spread some peace. Peace.